Well, today we got to fix that dryer, and the part to fix it is right here. We're going to repair a gas valve. Now this one, the gas valve went out. It's a non-serviceable item. So in this video, I'm going to show you me putting this in. Well, today, folks, I got to fix some dryers. I have 6 pockets out of order over here. 6. That's a lot for me. That's what happens. It seems like I'll go from one dryer out of order to a bunch. Now, when I talk about a pocket, that's a pocket and that's a pocket. So a stacked dryer has 2 pockets. That's a single dryer there at the end. That's a single pocket right there. That's a 55-pounder, and these are 30-pound stacks, to give you a comparison. A lot of you'd probably wonder why you use a 55-pound dryer. Well, they're easier to use, and think about it, you're getting 30 and 30, so 60 pounds, that's 55 pounds. A stacked dryer like this, and I hear people quoting me $6,000, $6,500 now. I was paying, brand new, I was paying $4,500 for a stack 45s, all stainless steel. A 55-pound dryer like that one runs about $3,800 in my area. Your area might be a little different, but that's what they run in my area. But enough of that. Today, we got to go put this part in that dryer and get it running. You want to keep up on your maintenance. You want to keep your machines running. I got behind because it got cold and I had a lot of other things going on, but you want to keep it up. So let's get started. Like any good project, the first thing we got to do is turn off the gas. Now I have the gas set up pretty nice in this laundromat. There's a main line that runs, and we have these T's with these shutoffs for each individual one. If you notice, I also, I hope it can show up, I have the circuit breaker labeled on each junction box where they go. And then down here, my rickety ladder out of the way, down here, then we have each dryer labeled. That's circuit breaker number 7, circuit breaker number 10. I know it seems OCD, but you're going to want to do this because when you go from here all the way to wherever your panel is, if it doesn't happen to be right here with you, you're going to be doing a lot of back and forth. Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Save yourself some time, set it up right to begin with. Now the dryer in question is the bottom one here. Whenever I know they're out of order, I put tape on them. Sometimes I'll write down what's wrong with them. This one we kind of chased it around because there's several things that give you the call for gas. They give you the call for ignition. You have your fresh air sensor, your sail switch they call it. You have your OP sensor, your thermistor sensor, which gives you an OP error if it's not sensing air movement. There's a centrifugal switch. I may be saying that wrong, but it's inside this motor telling the computer that the motor's turning for the blower because you don't want heat without it turning. It'll burn everything up. Then what you get to is you got your ignition board, that little black board in there. Got this little black board in here that sends to your sparker. And this is your sparker. It sends to your sparker, and this is it. This is the wire. It runs up here into the cabinet. And it's right there. It's where your spark happens. That's actually a wire. It looks kind of like a spark plug wire attached to it. Your gas is entering through down here. So I have to take this pipe off once I remove this from the unit. So I'm going to unhook it. There's a nut up here I got to loosen. And I'm going to take this unit out, and this will come with it. It's actually bolted in a few spots. There's 2 5/16 bolts right there. Pull that unit out. We'll have to unattach this, unattach the nipple. We'll put it on a new unit. Easier to work on stuff is why I also like to raise these dryers 6 inches. Now I got the gas valve and the parts out, so we got to open up the box. And there's actually a couple parts in here. Bearings, the bill, and this valve. Now the new valves are always different than the old ones. Parts change, but they still are the same. They still work, so we open it up. Now I save the bags for a couple days and I write the part numbers down and I make a book on all my machines. I know all the part numbers, rollers, bearings, wheels, motors, and the reason is that way I don't have to call my dealer later. I can just go look on eBay and find them. So just a little advice, if you're ever wondering, buy one part from your dealer, get the numbers, and make a log. I mean, you got the same machines, you're going to have the same parts. Now this valve is a little different. They've changed design. This is the direction it goes. So it'll tell me the direction it goes on here. But basically what I think happened to this valve is one of these solenoids stopped working. This is an unserviceable part. You're not going to be able to fix it. Don't try. It's a safety thing. Don't do it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. I'm going to pull this part here off. I wish I had a vise at this laundromat or on my truck. That would be handy. I've got 2 pipe wrenches. We're going to go that route. This looks like it's brass, so we want to be careful. Gotta use what you got. Get a bite on it. Now the old valve I'll just throw in the box because I'll just be chucking that. Clean off the threads. We got to put some pipe tape or pipe dope. I'm going to use dope. Now I buy the kind that's for gas pipe. It's gonna be soft for like a day and then it gets really hard. So we're going to tape this, mud this up, or pipe dope it up, or stir this up a little bit. It's probably been at Lowe's for 100 years because nobody goes to Lowe's, so their stuff's old as heck. Go ahead and tighten this up and we'll be right back. Alright, we gotta run. Let's see what it does. We hear it sparking. Ooh, we got flame. Go you up underneath. Nice blue flames up under there. Look at that. Sail switch, everything's working. Got the light on, which means we have power through there. This is a contactor. I like these new style. This is better than the ice cube relays. This is a contactor relay. One thing I really want to talk about is overlays. Something that can save you a lot of money is overlays. Now one question you're going to ask is, what is an overlay? This thing is your overlay. It's basically a sticker. That's all this is. I know you have push buttons here, but the keypad to touchpad that actually picks the different selections is not in the overlay. It's a separate item that attaches to the computer face. Totally different. This overlay is just a sticker. Now why is it so important? Now, I want you to look at this overlay. It would say Speed Queen up here. It would say commercial washer beside it. It would have the baskets. It wouldn't say big load. What it does have is all this. Speed Queen has all these same instructions. They're a little smaller, not much smaller, but they're a little bit. These are all the same. Now if you look way over here at there's a product code. It's your part number. Let's look at this. What is that? What is that? That is the part number, STA231492. Now don't mind, there's another out of order sticker back there. I know you all think I don't have anything ever go out of order. Every laundromat has things go out of order, just an FYI. Why does that part number start with an S and say STA? Speed Queen numbers on overlays are numbers. They start with 4s and 7s and 3s. They might have a couple of asterisks after them, which means single coin drop, dual coin drop. Might have a -0 and 01. Those all mean different things. What's going on with mine? I don't buy Speed Queen overlays. And you might say, well, that's not right. A Speed Queen overlay for a 50-pounder that I just showed you can cost excess of $200, maybe even $230 if they really feel like it's gold. This overlay is made by a person I know, and he prints them out on 3M paper. He prints them out in the same stuff that Speed Queen does, or that Speed Queen has their vendor do. And he only charges me $30 to $50, depending on the size and how big it is. That's a huge savings. And I know right away you're going to say, I want mine to look factory. I want it to say Speed Queen. Like I said before, you got to remember that you only care about 3 things in a laundromat. That it's clean, the machines work, and they look nice. So as long as that sticker looks nice, they don't care if it says Speed Queen or Yamaguchi or Dexter or Wascomat. As long as it works every time they come in, as long as it's clean, and as long as they basically feel comfortable with it. That's all they care about. So the overlay to me doesn't matter. But it's going to matter to you. I have to figure out spots in my business that I can cut costs, and overlays is one of them. These overlays aren't bad. They're like $6, $7. These overlays are $6, $7. Not so bad. But on the washers, they're upwards of $100 to $200 depending on the machine. That's ridiculous. Every once in a while you might get lucky on eBay and find some used ones that are new that someone never used. Great. But you're not going to be paying $100, $200 for them. So it's just one item in my laundromat that I save a fortune on. And I know what you're thinking, well, why is it such a big deal? You know what happens to your overlays? Your overlays might wear out over 10 years, yes. What happens to my overlays is that customers pick at them. They come in here and they see the corner going, so they're like, I can pull that off. And you'll come in and half your overlay will be pulled off. They'll rip a corner off. They'll mess with the screen because, well, it's something they can do. Kids will poke at it because they'll be like, ooh, I can rip this apart. Happens. It's crazy, drives me nuts. But instead of paying $135 to $200 and some bucks for these overlays, Keenan's paying between 30 and maybe, sometimes they get up to around 50 bucks. Not bad, but usually I'm around the $30 to $40 range for these overlays. And the more I buy, the cheaper it gets. So I just wanted to pass that along. No one really ever talks about that, but I'll put a link down in the description below of the place on eBay where I get them. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't make any money off this guy. If you buy some from him, tell him I sent you, he'll get a kick out of it because he'll be like, not expecting it. But that's where I get my overlays and I save a fortune. Problem is some items, Speed Queen, and I know all dealers do a Dexter Speed Queen wash mat. They think they're gold and they will hold you hostage paying insanely strange prices. And a lot of times your dealer will know that. Your dealer, like my parts guy at my dealer will say, Keenan, you're not gonna wanna buy this from us. Just look around, trust me. It's horrible. Sometimes, like when I did a gas valve over there and it was only 160 bucks, that was a good price. That's cheaper than what I'd pay for a gas valve that goes into my house. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy what one thing costs versus another thing. I just wanted to pass that along. I know I haven't seen anybody talk about that. I know my hair's all messy. I've been busy. But overlays, save yourself some money. Go look at that link. And there's probably some other people on there that print them out too. That's where I go. The guy's treated me right. I think he's somewhere in Texas. He's always treated me right, and he makes a few bucks, and I get a great overlay, and I pay half the price. Because I can tell you, when I go to put these overlays, unless Speed Queen's going to cut me a deal, I'll do the same thing. Because as long as it looks nice and it functions, that's all I'm worried about. Well, that's all the time we got today, folks. So take it easy, be safe. I hope you're doing well, and I hope your family's doing well. Take care.